big silence. The big silence.
Welcome to the Big Silence Podcast.
Thank you.
It's so wonderful to have you back as a guest. All right, so we haven't done an AMA in a long time. And the other cool thing about this one is it is Wine Not Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Well, it comes out on Wednesday.
I
Don't
know.
tell anyone we filmed
I
it on
just
a
love
Tuesday.
the truth.
So today we are sipping in my Pom Mom cup that your mom got me.
Oh, that was from my mom?
Yeah,
I was going to take credit for that gift.
No,
Seems
your
like it's
mom
right up
sent
my
it
alley.
to me. I think it was a Christmas gift of mine or
It's a
something.
great gift.
Yeah. So, and we are sipping on Slate Theory Wine, which
Mhm.
is a Texas winery. And did you know that Texas, Texas has, or Fredericksburg, Texas, is the second largest winery area? I'm
I think
terrible at
it's
this.
I think it's the
I'll-
second largest viticultural, if that's how you pronounce it, area in the U.S. Is that
Okay.
right? Or
outside of Napa.
has
Napa's
the
like the
second
biggest.
most tasting rooms.
It's
One of the two.
don't quote us on this.
Or it could be the second largest area of coverage.
All right. So, anyways, brief on this winery. If you are in Austin and you go to Fredericksburg for wine tastings or whatever, it's an hour outside of Austin, hour and a half outside of Austin. So Bobby and I were in Fredericksburg for our anniversary last year.
Mhm.
And we were doing a little wine tasting and eating cheese and charcuterie at another place. And somebody was like, you got to go to Slate Theory. We go there and we're sitting in the tasting room, sipping the wine, and I'm looking at the labels and I see the names of the wine are the schizophrenic,
Mhm.
the narcissist, the manic, the pharmacist. And I was like, wow, this is really interesting. And so then we start talking to the people that were serving the tastings and realized it's the family, the Jones family. And we start talking about mental health and what the connection is. And so we just created a bond with them and got to learn about, why they started a winery around mental health. But it's all about opening up the conversations and those conversations that you don't want to have. So Cody, he's an artist.
Yeah.
Love Cody. We have three of his pieces
Oh, yeah.
in our house. And he designs all the labels. Justine, she's the rock star. Yeah, we'll show this.
It's really cool.
Yeah. Of the family, she basically is the boss of the winery. And then, the whole family is there. And Randy, the dad, he just holds it down.
I
He's
like
great.
Randy. Yeah.
I like Randy too. But then we just became fast friends and used to go there or do go there for tastings and whenever we're there. And then we did an event in the cave. So
Oh,
for
yeah.
members in the cave, which is like the coolest thing ever. We did a sound bath and James Nicholas Kinney was there. He was doing the big silence, breathe in, breathe out, which by the way, June 29th, an event and James and I are doing at
One-man
Soho House,
show.
the one-man show.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to go to our website because that's at Soho House Austin. It's going to be awesome. But anyways, so the relationship continues and the connection around mental health. And then we're like, let's do a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have the patient, which is the red wine that Bobby's the patient today.
Are you sure you don't want this?
And the therapist, which is the white. And so we just launched our wine and they're sharing proceeds for the Big Silence programs. So shout out to the Jones family, go to Slate Theory Winery. And shout out to my sister because she wrote the stories on the back. Oh, and then
cool.
Yeah. And then Ashley Green and Paul from Hummingway Productions did a really cool short film. So in the show notes, we'll put the little film there. So cheers, Bobby. Are you ready for this AMA? I feel it. Go watch the video. You'll know what
It'll make more sense.
Okay.
Well, I just want to say that
You're
I'm sweating profusely.
It's 104 today.
Oh, shoot. AC is on.
Oh,
We haven't done this in a while.
my executive handyman failed.
Boy.
He's got it.
Boy.
So if the sound is a little quirky for the past few minutes, it's because we have the AC on in here. But in Austin, Texas, it's 104 degrees today, and it's gonna be in the hundreds for a week.
Yeah.
If my makeup is melting off, that is why, because now we have officially have no AC.
But great sound. I mean,
It's all about the
yeah,
sound.
nice sound.
I mean, you only will see how much we're sweating if you're on YouTube. And yeah, so otherwise, you're here for it. Okay, so I'm excited about this, and I was telling Bobby how excited I am to have fun
Mhm.
and do a wine night Wednesday because I haven't done that in a very long time.
Yes.
And since our podcast comes out on Wednesdays. And so the past week, I've been posting on my social media at Karena Dawn AMAs. And I'm like, be nice, but we're here to answer. So there's some really lovely questions.
Mm.
um,
Oh!
oh gosh, by the end of this, if we finish this glass of wine, it'll be like,
Oh, shoot. Palm barking?
Yeah, see,
Oh,
you knew
no.
I was palm barking.
I know, that pitch, I just it hits me every
It's
time.
that high pitch. And by the way, we might have to take a break because currently we have our girl Hannah
Oh, yeah.
palm washing
Mhm.
all the palms right now, and we got to swap out palms. Okay, so are you ready for this? A lot of the questions are for me, but they're actually for you too. And then I'm going to do rapid fire at the end.
Rapid
Which is
fire.
never rapid fire. Okay,
That's actually from my favorite podcast.
what?
They do that
Oh,
at
is it like
Pulp
Moto
MX.
X?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
What was your first impression of each other?
First impression. I thought you were a bitch. Yeah. 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 But you're not. But I did think you
Can
were
you
a bitch.
explain that more?
Yes. I met you quite a few times at barbecues, and every time you'd be like, "Hi, I'm Karina," and I'm like, "Hi, I met you the last time you said the same thing, and the time before that," and so you kept forgetting that we met, and you were also really quiet, and so I took like, "Oh, this beautiful girl, and she's super quiet," as like, "Oh, I'm too good to like converse," and so I misread sort of being introverted in a public, environment as like, "Oh, she's stuck up." And yeah, and then you learn over time, and we got to really know each other later in Catalina and get to know each other. And yeah, fast forward 5 palms later, here we are.
I was very shy. And that was another question. Actually, a comment that I saw was, Karina, it seems like over the years you've built a lot of confidence.
Oh, yeah, Cardi.
Now I'm Cardi. No, but that is true. Like back then I've
Yeah.
grew up a very shy girl, even in school. They're like, "Hey, Karina doesn't talk." And I was
Mhm.
just shy. And then a bit of insecurity. And then, you grow. I'm 42 now, and that confidence comes. And
It doesn't come. You earn it and you work for it. So
thank you.
give yourself a little.
Thank you. I've worked very hard for the confidence in going from an introvert
Mhm.
and a extroverted introvert to, now I'm doing a podcast just saying anything. Like I would never be able to do this.
But I don't think you're like coming from being an introvert. You're always going to be introverted as like your place of comfort and
Mhm.
what feeds you and what doesn't feed you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think confidence is like a totally separate thing aside from being introverted or extroverted.
What's the difference in your opinion?
Well, extroverts would be filled up by interacting with others, and I would say introverts get filled up in solitude and more quiet environments or environments within themselves.
Yeah. Hence my meditation and my big silence. How many times a day I'm like, Bobby, can you just talk a little less?
Yeah, you do that a lot.
But to answer what was my first impression of you?
Do you remember?
No.
Now, what was your 6th impression of me? 7th
My
impression?
7th impression of you was, oh my gosh. So we were both single finally. So I was dating someone, you were dating someone, and I was just like, hey, hey, hey,
Mhm.
And then when we were both single on a friend trip to Catalina, and I heard that you were coming, And I was like, "Oh, he's really cute. Like, I never noticed him before because I was single now. See, I'm a dedicated person. My eyes have no
Mm,
mm,
that's right, yes.
mhm,
Loyal,
loyal, like a Pomeranian.
like a palm.
And and then we were in Catalina, and you had just gone through a breakup, and we, we're talking, and you're like, "Well, I wanna move to Manhattan Beach." I was like, "Okay," and you're like, "I want a two-bedroom and this and that, and, let me know if anything comes across." And so then we get back from Catalina. It's like 20 friends there,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big group of people that we used to go every year. And we come back, and then my neighbor below is like, "I broke up with my boyfriend. He's moving out, and now I'm moving out." And I was like, "Oh, well, let me go on Facebook. I think that Bobby guy
Mhm,
wanted to move to Manhattan Beach, and he
mhm,
was looking for a two-bedroom to move
mhm,
in with Eddie."
mhm. My boyfriend. Yeah.
And so I don't know what's DM'd you, whatever Facebook is, and I was like, "Hey, it's available." And your response was,
I don't know, you have to
"No,
go
you're."
back and see how
I know the
smooth that
response is
was.
like, "Oh, this is about to be a really crazy year." Something like that. Don't quote me, but it
That
was
sounds a little
something. It was
creepy.
a little like, "Oh."
Yeah, yeah, I was flirting. That's what flirting is.
Oh, you were flirting with
I
me.
think it was flirting, yeah. I'll try it again sometime. Yeah.
And then I remember telling Kat, I was like, "Bobby's gonna move in below. This is gonna be dangerous in a good way."
Mhm.
And then he did. And then he moved in October 1st. I don't remember the year. But I didn't tell you that we were filming a show for Bravo.
I
And
conveniently left that out. Yeah.
and you move in the day it was literally you moved in October 1st and we started filming October 1st and you come and there's production in the garage.
Yeah, but it was like we were told a day before or 2 days before because you have to sign a release. So, like,
Mm-mm.
I thought I thought we had to sign a release before
You
it.
did once you were on the show.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Because then all right, so you move in. I'm like, "Don't worry about the production in the garage. We're filming a show for Bravo." So then we started hanging out. After we were done filming, you would come upstairs and we'd watch a movie and all of this. And I'll shorten up
I
this
think that's
story
the first time I've ever seen The Holiday and Love Actually.
multiple times.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, "Oh, we're watching The Holiday again.
Yeah.
It's June. It's all it's all good. Oh, what are we watching now? It's Halloween, and we're watching The Holiday."
But anyway, so we quickly started dating and um our producer from Bravo knocked on your door because actually Kat and I were having a lunch break one day at a place in Hermosa and Kat was like talking to me about you. And our producer Stephanie was like looked over and she's like, "Excuse me?" And I was like, "Oh." She's like, "Are you dating the neighbor?" I was like, "No, no, 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 not yet. We're just interested." And then they went knocking on your door. But anyways, moving on because we're not gonna get through that was one question.
How much time was that?
That So, um, this question here. What are your tips for a healthy marriage? Thanks.
Oh, man. I mean, are we equipped to give,
No.
advice on that? I mean, it's work. It's 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 not easy, and I mean, I really like therapy.
Mhm.
I think therapy's great, um,
Yeah, and to
having that perspective.
yeah, I think it's important. I obviously, and when we go back to my confidence building, when I've been at my lowest, I've started going back to therapy and working with Gwen. And then I also did EMDR and a bunch of stuff. And that helped me gain my personal confidence. And then when we've had issues, even most recently in our marriage, which we've been together a long time, we're two different humans and we've
That's quite the, observation.
in case you didn't
Yeah.
know,
I
we
was
are
expecting him to be exactly like me.
and agree with everything I say.
What's funny though is like that is actually kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have this weird, subconscious expectation that like, oh, we're just gonna like, you know, fall in line with all of our thoughts and beliefs and whatnot. It just doesn't work like that.
Right. And thoughts and beliefs. And of course, in the beginning of a relationship, it's like you wake up in the middle of the night and have sex, and like you're just like, "Rawr, rawr," and you agree with
Ooh!
but you're in that little phase. And even our friends were like, okay, Karina and Bobby, stop kissing at the dinner table. Stop holding, it's like I think everyone goes through that phase of what's it called?
Puppy
Honeymoon?
love?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Honeymoon stage, yeah.
or we'll call it puppy love.
Ooh! This is gonna be the most annoying podcast.
But then, I mean, we grow. I was 32 when we met.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were younger than me.
I was
You
27,
look at me,
28, yeah, something
like
like
a
that.
little cougar.
I know.
But we grow and we change, and that's okay. We should. And yeah, we have we're not in therapy currently. That's only
No, I mean,
like a few
kinda.
weeks. Don't be afraid of therapy.
Yeah, for
A
sure.
healthy It was about a healthy marriage. And
Oh, can I add one thing on that?
yeah.
Don't don't hold something in. So the sooner you get it out, the smaller and easier to deal with it will be. But if you hold things inside that aren't feeling good for you, and there's no judgment because like we're different people, so different things are going to feel different to both of us. But for each party, I think expressing how you're feeling when you're not feeling right about something as soon as possible is
Mhm.
probably like the number one thing I could say because
'Cause
you're
then
gonna disagree.
you're gonna disagree, and that's okay.
Hmm.
It's learning to work together because you don't want the R word, which we're not allowed to use anymore.
Hmm.
We can state it here. Bobby's not listening. I'm gonna use the R word, resentment. Wow, I can't wait for the rapid fires. All right.
It's
Um
hot in there. Yeah, rapid fires are only 3 minutes apiece for per answer.
um okay, this is a question. Oh, oh, it says you since we're on us, you and Karina seem to be so connected yet have so many different hobbies and
Mm,
interests.
yeah. I mean, I always think we're like a yin and a yang couple. Like
Mhm.
some people are like kind of the same and they like to do the same things. And we're like, if I like something, there's a good chance you do not like it. But you kind of baited me in a little bit. You were like, oh, I'm a surfer, snowboarder,
Mountain
Monster
bike.
Energy girl. I was like, what? You had me at Monster Energy girl.
Yeah, because Bobby loves motocross.
Motocross, yeah.
I was also mountain biking, but I was into action sports. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I mean,
Which is what I
again,
love.
you evolve and you change. And then I was in triathlon, which then we did a triathlon together. And I'm
Yin yang. Yeah.
never doing a triathlon with you again.
Yeah, I think just the way we approach things. So, like, triathlon, I came in and then I was, like, really super competitive about it, and that wasn't your style.
I'm not competitive.
Right, right. And so, like, that
Didn't
didn't
go well.
work. Didn't work. We did a couple triathlons together, and then that was it.
Because I love back to the introvert. Loved going on runs. I can't run anymore. Last time I tried to run, my hips were hurt for like a month. But I would run and just run and like it was meditative for me
Mhm.
and swim and bike and do all of that. And I would just be in my thoughts. I'd listen to good music. It boosted my endorphins. And you, which is totally fine, love to talk and then tell me to open up those legs and hips and run faster. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh, whoa. Watch the
I'm like,
language.
I am doing my thing at my pace, and this is what I enjoy. Do not take the enjoyment out of my training for a triathlon.
I wasn't trying to. It was just a different style.
Yeah.
So I wasn't taking the enjoyment away from you. I was just kind of being me, which you didn't
Motivator.
like.
Motivator.
No, I'm not. No, I just like to like. I feel like I have to win. I have to get better, right? Like it.
Why?
I don't know. I mean, well, I mean,
We don't.
do we want to do like psychoanalysis here, or
We'll
But
bring one of our therapists in for that one.
yeah, I'm not the only one. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. But like that's what gets me. Like,
Right.
2nd place would be like, "Oh, that's a great achievement," but it feels disappointing at the same time. Like, I can't shake that.
Why?
This is not the episode for this, but I'm sure there's, just
Mhm.
go backwards and figure it out from your childhood and go from there.
Whereas I'm, like, not competitive. I like to do great things, but I never beat myself up. Do
Mm.
you beat yourself up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you are pretty kind to yourself. Once in a while, you express, like, these, like, doubts, and
Yeah.
I almost don't believe you when you say them, which is not fair either, just because they are so rare.
Yeah.
But, like, I think you have self-confidence, but like I said earlier, like, yeah, you've earned it o over time, and,
Ye
like,
I mean, I
you don't
definitely
sweat small stuff.
I don't sweat small stuff because of my upbringing and what I had
Yeah,
to go through where I
yeah.
look at things, I'm like, "Not a big deal."
Yeah, you're just like you've climbed the mountain at a very young age, so everything's pretty easy from here. You're kinda like, "Eh, you got a little up, you got a
"Eh,
little down," but you're
shit."
just kinda, you're kinda cruising.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Was that
Gonna
was that question 2?
Oh,
Oh, boy.
yeah. Oh, here's one. I'm gonna, well, actually, going back because there was a question I'm not looking at right now, but here it is. It kinda has to do with what we just talked about. My daughter is struggling with anxiety prior to race days. Any tips?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. I'll give my tip, and then I'm gonna talk about you on race day at the half Ironman. Um, my advice, the first triathlon, and I assume, like, when you say race day, it's some kind of sports or endurance racing. The first triathlon I ever did was really I did it by myself. Woke up, drove from LA to San Diego by myself, like 2 a.m. in the morning, and set the whole thing up by myself when you go into the transition area and all of
Mhm.
that. And I jumped into the water and I had a panic attack. My first time in a lake.
Ugh, was like a murky lake too.
Yeah, I couldn't
You
see
feel like
anything.
the
Yeah.
grass and the mud.
My heart was
Ugh.
pounding, again, doing this, which is great for me. This was like my one of my biggest transitions too, was signing up for this race in
Mhm.
a time where I didn't believe in myself, and I said, "I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna sign up for this. I'm gonna accomplish something." And my heart was racing. I thought I was going to not survive. And literally during that swim, if there's new athletes like in the water, a lot of times there's lifeguards all around and they
Mm.
pull you out of the water. But I remembered because I was started doing yoga to breathe. And
Mm.
so I counted as I stroked. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Mhm.
3. I began meditating on the water
Mm.
and I made it through. My heart slowed down. I got out of my head
Yeah.
and, as I say, into your heart and your body, and calmed myself down. And then I crossed that finish line and I just like cried. I was like, I did it. I accomplished something. And then I said, I can do anything now. But to that question of anxiety before a race, breath work is very important for sure.
Well, I think you just said, I mean,
Yeah.
meditation.
Yeah.
I mean, I never meditated or anything till pretty deep into our relationship too. It wasn't like a right away. That was, top of the, what Tone It Up was doing and
Yeah.
what you were doing all the time, but, like, you had a good practice, but you did it in your own privacy. Um, I'd say meditation would be a good thing. Start young. It's probably easier, but I don't know, I think there's probably a perspective because I think there's an energy in that too that you can, like, actually use. Um, but I think probably meditation to control that boiling.
Yeah. And even to tell your daughter like 2 minutes of meditation and breath is sometimes all you need. Just to breathe 2 minutes to calm yourself and be present. Because you can get up in that little hamster roll in your head.
Yeah. But that's the cool thing about, like, once the race starts, like, once they fire the gun and you're going, like, the reason I love competing like that so much, especially in, like, high adrenaline sports, it's like your head has to shut down.
Mhm.
And even though triathlon's really long and like sometimes your mind can go, you get to a level of exhaustion that it just drains your head and it kind of brings you really present. So like, I don't know, maybe there's somewhere between meditation and like balancing the expectation of what the race is going to be,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's what I think with sports. Like you love motocross, and I think of boxing, or like why I got back into fitness was because it is you have to focus in that moment. It makes you become so present. Like,
Hmm.
do you think because your brain is that hamster wheel?
Yeah. Except there's like 20 hamsters. And they're all on different wheels. Help me.
So you maybe loving motocross, like that was it. And but that is why sports are so important too. Is it is meditation to stay so focused on what you're doing. It's not the aesthetic, even for me anymore. Favorite book you've read this year? My memoir.
Oh, the big silence.
Yeah. Here's one. What's your favorite meal at Ski Shores? So Ski Shores is
I mean, I know
obviously.
the answer to this question, but it's not very
Bobby's like, "Can I have a
it's
sip
not
of
very
that
tone up
wine?"
approved. You want me to answer for you? Is this one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
questions? All right.
What's my favorite? So, okay, Ski Shores is down the street from us, and we love it. It's on the
Yeah.
water. It's like a vibe. Like, the music is
It's
going.
old school, like 50s Austin, lakefront, um, family environment, let's say. Picnic tables, burgers, catfish. Um, it's now a little more expensive, but it still has that same cool feel.
It got bought out by
Yeah,
a hotel group, but
yeah,
the menu is actually way
yeah.
better now.
Food is quality. Like you could
Yeah,
actually trust the salad now,
like,
or in
when
the
everything's
past,
questionable.
50-50 shot. Yeah.
Oh, this was supposed to be a rapid fire question.
Oh, that was a rapid fire. Was the previous one a rapid fire? Oh, shoot. Rapid fire, Karena, French fries for sure, and, you go between a burger and maybe the Ski Shores salad. Which one? I forget what it's
I don't
called.
know, there's only 2, there's a Cobb and
Yeah,
another. Yeah.
yeah, but as long as you get your
I
French fries and your skinny margs over there, I think you're pretty happy, right?
Yeah, it is, but okay, but here's the thing, I don't eat the entire basket of fries or the fried okra. Like,
Yeah,
I'm very good at,
you are
like,
good at
I
that,
crave something and I have it.
and this is where I fail.
Yeah,
Like, there's this
definitely.
thing of, like, "We paid for that.
I gotta eat it.
It's getting finished," especially if it's the new Ski Shores, a little more pricey. You
You're
know what I'm
like, "I'm paying
saying? Yeah,
$14 for that margarita versus it used to be
yeah.
$5?"
If it ain't drank, you ain't
Ain't drunk.
drunk.
Oh, favorite quote of our friend. Okay. I think let me see here. We're ready for some rapid fires. And this is like legit rapid fire, okay?
Oh, okay. Because I found out about the last one after. Alright.
Okay. Do you still have your ghostly jacket and will you sell it to me if you ever decide to get rid of it?
Yes, there's a price on everything. What is the offer?
If you don't know ghostly, check them out.
No, I don't know if I
This
would
is
sell that one. I love that
I know.
jacket. So, this is not a rapid fire answer, but, uh,
There's never a
our buddy
rapid fire.
Dave Sutton works at Ghostly, and they have Ghostly is a record label, great stuff. They do a lot of vinyl releases, but they also have, like, the coolest merch, and it's all limited edition. Once in a while, they'll, like, restock, but awesome stuff. That embroidered jacket
Mhm.
is incredible.
Yeah, so not rapid fire, obviously.
Mhm.
Um, there's a photo on my Instagram, I think, that Rosie is referring to, and I have Cujo, and I have it's the back. Yeah,
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah,
Maybe
Ghostly
I'll
logo, there's
repost
a
it. Yeah,
big butterfly, it's
yeah.
super colorful on a black jacket.
I just burned.
I think it's a Garb Store jacket. It's like quality lasts forever.
Yeah, not selling, but maybe. Never say never. Okay, rapid fire number 2. How do you live life as a power couple.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, number
Bleh.
1. Thank you, Ashley.
Uh, I mean, I think
Let it
I wanna be
go,
louder
let it
for sure.
go.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to let it go, but I think just, like, living in your pure truth, no matter what it is, and our truths are could be different, but I think just, like, 100% honesty, the truth will always prevail, and dealing with your problems when you know they're there. Like, and we all know about our problems way earlier than we actually face them. So I think that's the biggest thing. And whatever you call anybody a power couple or not, like, I'm just happy we were actually like
Not
working
divorced.
through stuff. Yeah. And it's a process. It's not like I hate, I hate phonies, like that's Holden Caulfield said that in Catch a Rye.
Mm.
One weird fact, I know I'm getting side noted, but that is the most common book in like serial killers collections. And so I'm scared that I really enjoy that's like one of my favorite childhood books, but I'm not going to let them have it. Okay? I really love it. But he talks about phonies, and they've always triggered me too. And so I think like people representing, oh, their life is perfect and this and that. Like, okay, that's great. And I hope it is. But like, I'm actually more interested in like the in between stuff and like the anxiety at the beginning of a race. Like, that's good because, like, that's what makes getting over it and finishing so great. Like, it's it's hard work, um, it's commitment, it's tests, and I don't know, I think over time, it's like you just really have to, like, learn to love the process. It's not easy, but there's a lot of love, always. But, like, love isn't enough, and so I like the commitment to work. And yeah, and figuring it out and just growing, like, and hopefully our paths are, growing in the same direction. Sometimes they don't, and sometimes they do.
Yeah, I think it's really important to make sure both people in the couple are growing together and like staying at that same pace and
Yeah, but, like, you're never gonna chart the
yeah.
same. I mean, you're 2 tracks, right? Like, hopefully you have some magnetic force that draws you together, but, like, sometimes we may be at different places, and sometimes
Mhm.
you know, we're pulling each other, and sometimes someone else is you're pushing each other, and so it's like, I don't know, it's a balance, but it's it's rewarding.
For our third rapid fire question, before I see the sweat dripping down your face. What
Wow.
is your favorite guilty pleasure TV show? I know mine.
What?
Kardashians.
Oh, yeah.
I wo did
Yeah.
was that this morning? It's like, I slept in the guest house last night with no dogs,
Yeah.
and the AC in our bedroom is broke, so it's like couch, guest house, whatever.
Mhm.
And I woke up, and I was like, I slept like a baby from 10 p.m. till 5:15 a.m. Like, that's good, like, didn't wake up. I didn't even have to pee, and, like, I was like, "Oh, I dreamt." I was like, "Bobby, how'd you sleep?" I was like, "I had a dream that I was hanging out with the Kardashians." He was like, "Oh god." Not that I, like, want to, but then you're like, "Great," because then I can
Stop, that's a lie.
and then you're
Not that you want to.
oh,
You wouldn't want to hang out with the Kardashians, you totally would
we
wanna
would
hang out.
totally vibe. But you're like, "Great, can you become friends with them? Because I wanna hang out with Travis Barker."
Yeah, yeah, let's go.
Alright, your guilty TV pleasure.
I mean, I don't feel guilty about it, but I since I'm a kid, I just love motocross, supercross, um, racing, over the last 5 years now, Formula 1. Like, I love that. I
Yeah.
love watching racing. And so, like,
That's not as guilty as, like, Kardashians or The
I
Bachelorette.
don't I don't love that. Although when we were dating and I was like, "I'm never watching The Bachelor. I'm never watching The
And then you
Bachelorette," and then I'm
loved
like,
it.
"Whoa." It's like a force field. I
Yeah.
mean, but instead of keeping you away, it just keeps you in. Like, you get
Mhm.
in that bubble, and then you're like, "Hmm, what a bitch. Oh, I don't know about that one." So, I mean, it's fun, but I haven't seen it in probably a decade now.
Yeah, we stopped watching it. We
Yeah.
moved on to Sports and Kardashians.
Except when we watched Dale.
Wait.
Wasn't that on The Bachelorette?
Oh,
That was the
Dale
last time we
Moss.
watched it.
Shout out to Dale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rapid fire. Favorite country song?
Ooh,
I
man.
need something you
Oh,
prove.
you prove? Okay.
Is that
Uh,
Morgan Wallen?
I don't know. I kinda go between, like, um, I call it my term for it, and I talk with Brandon Gaddis,
Yeah.
the country shit list, instead of the hit list, which is, like, the most ridiculous songs you've ever heard, um, which was, like, oh, what was the oh, I'm gonna have to think about this one. Uh, oh,
Would you consider Taylor Swift country?
I mean, some of her songs are country.
I feel
I
like
mean, pop-driven country,
you're
but
a Swiftie.
I don't know if I'm a Swiftie.
Uh, I think I
Uh,
have a TikTok of you to
yeah, but
but
that was my first introduction. Ah, what's the song I'm thinking of on the country shit list? Oh, it's gonna bug me. Like, sometimes really like, old school, like, Willie Merle Haggard kinda country. If I'm on a
you're
road trip.
always on my
Mhm.
mind.
Yeah, but then I really sometimes, like, I'll listen to the highway a lot
Yeah,
on Sirius,
you
and
drive a lot. Yeah.
that has a lot of the country shit list, which I'm like, "Oh, this song is so stupid," and then I'm like, "Oh." Um, what is the song? It's gonna drive me
All
crazy.
right, this rapid fire is going way too long of you just thinking in your little hamster brain.
I know I'm just not on the right wheel right now. I'll think of it. I'll think of it. It's like when your I don't know, wife or something left, but you were out on the boat. Oh god, why can't I think of this song? I'm gonna oh, shoot.
Okay,
Alright,
well,
go to the next question. I'm gonna look at
no,
this
that
up.
was the last one, and it's taking like 35 minutes.
Uh,
I'll answer one last question I have in front of me. Why did you move to Texas, and how is it different from California?
oh,
Oh.
oh, wait, oh. What if I played a song? Are you gonna
Okay,
get sued?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
Oh, please don't.
It was Old Dominion. I was on a boat that day.
Oh,
This song is so ridiculous. And I'm like, "Oh, that song's terrible." And I'm like, "I was on a boat that day." Yeah, this
I
song.
was on a boat that
Yeah,
day.
that so I feel like, sometimes if I'm, like, in a ridiculous mood, like,
I
some Old Dominion songs are
eh,
super fun. But, yeah, I don't know.
awesome.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll answer quite quickly. How's the move to Texas? Love it. I was in California 20 years. You were there 10 years. We here, we're freaking hot. But
Mhm.
it's nice. I always love change, and I'm not afraid of change. And you landed here and you're like, "Hell yeah. Let's go, cowgirl."
Mm. Is that what you said? Must have missed that part. No.
Oh, we love it.
Uh,
It's always when we got married, it was always about adventure and being on it together, and
yeah, and I'm looking forward to a July road trip.
I know
Yeah.
we're figuring that out.
Mm. Maybe a little West Coast?
Might be a little West Coast.
Maybe a little of your favorite. Are you allowed to hint at it or no? Karina's always been known to love some Disney. This will be our first time going to Disney together. I've tried for the entire time
I'm
of my
actually doing a
relationship.
keynote there, in case you're wondering.
Yeah, yeah. But we're gonna have a day at Disney, and it is gonna be
Yeah!
well documented.
Yeehaw! I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't been to Disney. I think I went to Disneyland once, like, pre-Tone It Up, and I went to
Was it a bad date or something?
No,
It was a good date?
it was with someone we know. Um, and then
Okay.
And then I went to Disney World when we were, had that deal going on with Oakley, and we had to be in Orlando for an event and a meet and greet, and then Kat and I went to Disney World. Wow. Wow.
Wow, what is this gonna come down to the
Dun, dun,
conversation of the, like, great
dun.
controversy? Disney World or Disneyland? Is that what wow? What is the wow?
No, it's all like, shout out to the parents who take their kids to either.
Mm,
That's a lot. I could barely manage myself. There's a lot of walking, a lot of trams, a lot of lines.
it battles your introverted nature.
Yes. A lot of people. A
Lot
lot
of
of people.
people, lot of people.
A lot of people.
What if I'm spitballing here, just throwing out ideas. Okay. What if it was Disney Dog World
Oh my
and
gosh,
you
if they were like
replaced all the
Pomeranians.
people with dogs, and the people can't go on the rides because 'cause they're dog rides.
Oh, spend all
Yeah?
day. Yeah.
And so, like, the children that actually get pushed around are the dogs, and then you gotta stand on the side, and it's just, like, kid-focused,
And
dog-focused.
you know what? What is the tube, like the barrel thing that people and then you go down and it's like a splash thing? Tiki
Yeah.
would love that.
It's called Splash Mountain, and it
Splash.
just shut down forever.
Oh,
You missed that?
no. I mean, yes.
Yeah, Splash Mountain's done, they retired it.
But Tiki loves a splash party.
Well, even if they were open and they opened up for Disney Dog World, which has Splash Mountain, they would be shut down immediately because that would be very dangerous for our dogs. They would not survive one trip on Splash Mountain.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
been a nice AMA. Welcome, Bobby Goldstein, your favorite guest.
Yeah, I'm glad we got through those 2.5 questions there, and, when we get more time, we can probably continue. There was a list of about 35 questions there.
I know. Okay.
Sorry, everyone. Hamster wheels.
Much love.
The big silence. The big silence.